Horror and TV shows, superheroes in general, Marvel Jacob. I try being human. Hey, so what's going on, you guys? I just thought I'd do a quick video like you just seen with the new introduction there, or my new phrase I give at the beginning of each video. And right here, I just thought I'd do a video about Game of Thrones. Guys don't know what that is. That's a fairly popular TV show on HBO. You know, it's kind of a fantasy, kind of think medieval knights, dragons, magical creatures, things like that. I'm guessing if you're watching this video, though, you probably know what it is, so I don't really think I need to explain the plot to you or anything like that. But this isn't really a review as much as it is me giving my thoughts about the show in general. So I know I'm a little late getting to the party here. Like I said, it's a pretty popular show. And I just started getting into it a couple weeks back. I started watching season 1 on Comcast On Demand. And I finished all of season 1 on there, and then I started watching season 2 and so on. So I just wanted to go over what I really thought about it. Well, I don't have that many subscribers here that I'm not really sure are interested in Game of Thrones, but like I may have said before, I do this more to discuss what I want to discuss so I can put it into words. And if some of you happen to like it, then some of you happen to like it. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out where to start here. With Game of Thrones, I'm not really that big of a fan of it. I would think that it was fairly interesting when I first started watching it. I mean, I really like the world they created for it. I know it started with the books and things like that, but I like the world, and I thought Sean Bean's character, Lord Eddard Stark, was a pretty interesting character and a character I could follow. But if you're watching this, you probably know what happened to him, whether it was in the books or in the show. If you're watching the show, it was episode 9, I think. I forget what the episode is called, but episode 9, season 1, they had him executed and killed off. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with shows killing off characters like that, even main characters. I mean, I think that makes it more realistic that way, and that's probably what they were going for, besides basing it off the books and sticking to it. But I don't really think that was the right decision personally. Well, from my perspective anyway, because he was the character I was most interested in, and yeah, you could say I'm butthurt, but not really, because I'm just not as interested in any of the other characters, to be honest. I mean, he has his sons, Robb Stark, there's Jon Snow, and I forget his other smaller son's name, then there's Arya, or whatever it is, who's his daughter, but and of course there's the Lannisters and Joffrey and things like that, and then there's his other daughter, I forget her name. But when they killed him off, I became a lot less interested in the show. Eddard Stark, I mean. I understand why it happened, and it may have worked well for the story if there was another character I was actually into, but there really isn't, honestly. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm just really not that into Game of Thrones. Besides, like I said, not being interested in very many of the characters, really. Another thing I don't really like about it is that they completely base it off of the source material, like I said, the books and the novels, which isn't really a good thing. I mean, I understand they might not want to mess with the source material. I think it's really good already. They don't really want to touch it. They just want to use what they know is already well thought out and already has a good reputation. But it also kind of messes with the person's experience who's only watching the TV show, because they could see there's always a bunch of spam comments on the videos online. You'll see, oh, but this happened in the books, or this happened in the book, so it's going to happen on the show too. So fans that just watch the show can get spoiled that way. And you could say they could just not look at the videos until they see most of it, but I just don't really like the idea of that because, like, I think it's better with what they did with The Walking Dead on AMC. You know, they're loosely basing it off the comic books. They're kind of roughly following what the comic books are doing, but at the same time, they're changing a lot of things about it. And I know they changed a lot of little things about Game of Thrones on the show, but nothing big. Whereas on The Walking Dead, they would have a character die in the TV show, but that character would still be alive in the comic books, like Andrea, for example. Or to counter that, you know, Shane died pretty early on in the Walking Dead comic books, but he lasted for a while and got a lot more attention on the show. So, you know, like I said, it makes it a lot more unpredictable. And even right now, Tyrese is still alive, and they're past the prison where he is actually killed in the comic books. So that just makes it more unpredictable and I think more fun to watch for everyone involved, both those who have and haven't read the comics, but, you know, really, because, you know, neither of them can really 100% guarantee that they know what's going to happen next, unless they just have some really good predictions in general, you know, and they really get lucky on those. So there's that, and I don't know, I just I guess just find some of the acting a little bit dull on the show. I mean, in general, I think Rob Stark's a little bit boring when it comes to his acting and things like that, and it's not really the world they have seems like it'd be more exciting than it actually is, more exciting than what they show anyway. Like even with I think Khaleesi was her name, you know, the girl with the white hair and the dragons and such. I was slightly interested in her storyline at first, just because, you know, she hooked up with Drago from that tribe. I forget what they're called because I don't care that much. But Drago, I remember his name. She was, I guess, forced to marry him. Traditional marriages bug me, but I understand that's how it was and that's how it is in that society. But anyway, I like the idea that Drago was saying he vouched that vowed, that he was gonna go across the sea and, you know, sit on the Iron Throne and, you know, conquer them basically, which I thought would have been a really cool idea. But then what happens is Drago gets a scar and it gets infected, and then he just pretty much dies. You know, minus the witch's attempted intervention, which really just screwed him even more. But it just bugged me that nothing really happened with that. I mean, it could have been a really cool storyline to see Khaleesi and Drago and his men go over and there be a big battle or something like that, or just some maneuvering that would go down, you know. But they never did anything with that, which I thought was kind of pointless. And even now, we see Khaleesi and she hasn't really done a whole lot. I mean, it's gotten a lot more boring with her, that's for sure. And she's really not that interesting besides being topless. Dragons, they're the most interesting thing about her. Even that's been dragging on, I felt. And yeah, I hate Joffrey like the rest of you. I want him to die too, and guess what? Spoilers, he just did. But you know, he was poisoned, and if you read the books, you know who they're probably gonna have poisoned him on the show too. But I just thought that took way too long. I mean, they started that whole Joffrey thing in season 1, had dragged on all the way until season 4. And they just don't really have much happen in between it. I mean, nothing really threatened him a whole lot. And I saw Joffrey being poisoned was kind of anticlimactic. I mean, because he deserved a lot more than that, trust me. I was hoping we were going to see him get beaten down and beaten to death, or just at least stabbed while he was trying to defend himself or something. That would have been cool. Or at least get more punishment than simply being poisoned by, spoilers, a source that really doesn't relate to what we want him dead for anyway. You know, with the whole Stark family thing. And so I thought that was a little anticlimactic and a bad decision on the part of the writers. And speaking of the Starks, you know, with the whole Red Wedding thing, the reigns of Castamere, I might be mispronouncing that, but the Red Wedding and, you know, Robb Stark being killed and his Just his wife being like stabbed while she was pregnant in the gut, you know. Uh, then of course, Catelyn, you know, she was forced to watch all that. Then she got her throat slit too, and I don't know. I understand it. I like. I understand it has to be realistic. I understand that dark things like that happen in this world, you know, and I like that idea of it. But I don't know. At the same time, I just think it's another bad writing decision. I'm sorry, because now we don't get to see Robb Stark get vengeance for his father. You know, like I said, Joffrey just gets poisoned by someone not even relating to any of that. So that feels anticlimactic. And then, you know, Catelyn just gets her throat slit too without really knowing about Jon Snow or anything like that. But still, I understand she kind of presumed all her kids were dead at that point. But again, I just thought this whole thing has been anticlimax the whole way through, pretty much. And all the characters that they give attention to, and all the characters that I ended up caring about, just got killed off, or they were a little bit interesting, but then they drag it on for a couple seasons. It just got really annoying. And really, there's not really any characters left right now, and around roughly season 4, episode 3, where we are right now, that are really that interesting to me. I mean, I like Tyrion, you know, the imp or the midget. He's entertaining, and you know, and he could really be the only somewhat good Lannister. You know, he is kind of interesting to me, but not really to the point of driving the whole show and driving my interest home, really. So he's not really enough. I don't really care about Jon Snow, in all honesty. I mean, he's been on the wall for how long now, and I like Sam more than him. You know, the fatter kid that he's always with there. I like Arya, but I don't know, I feel like the whole thing's gone nowhere with her because she didn't get to avenge her father or her family either. So I don't really care what they do with her now. Yeah, this whole thing's just been shit. I'm sorry. Wow, I mean, I might get some hate for this if anyone actually watches this video once in a while, but I just really don't think it's that good. I mean, well, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I shouldn't say it's complete shit. But I don't know. And again, some people are probably gonna say I'm about hurt because oh yeah, I didn't like that they killed off my favorite characters. But no, it's not just that. I just don't find the rest of them all that interesting. And me personally, I'm just not that interested in the rest of them or the show after they're gone. And a good general statement I can make about it is that I think the world itself, the world in general they've created, is more interesting than the contents and the characters that are actually in it. So, I don't know, I'm probably going to stop watching it now. It's not really my forte, you could say my cup of tea. But hey, if you like it, I can understand why some people would like it. I understand why it has a growing fan base, but it's not really my thing anymore. So, yeah, sorry to bring you guys the bad news, but I really don't enjoy Game of Thrones that much anymore. I did in season 1, but then again, after that, it just dragged on, and it's still dragging on and on. So, I'm not really that excited about the idea of continuing it. So, sorry guys, I'll catch you next time, and hate all you want, this is my opinion. You can enjoy it if you want. You can watch it if you want. You can keep on watching. You can say it's better than The Walking Dead or whatever. I gave my thoughts, and you can give yours too. And hey, I'll catch you guys next time, and it'll probably be might be a review of the movie Turning Page. It's a drama with Catherine Isabel. Actually, I'm just about to watch it now online. I mean, I might talk about that a little bit later, but I don't know. We'll see what I do. And hey, I'll catch you guys later, and peace. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you lose interest.